Could Madcap actually be Geno? This is a question I've asked myself ever since I posted my YouTube short about a month ago. It's a very dumb question, and one that I've never had a lot of faith in, but now I want to actually try to prove that Mr. Mushrooms over here is actually the secretive ruler of everything that has become the #1 big bad of Fortnite Battle Royale. And if it is not Madcap, which Fortnite character could it be? The answer may surprise you. But before I get into that, I would just like to quickly remind you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and following me on Twitch, just to help my ego feel better. Now back to the video. For this video, I literally went through every single Fortnite trailer with a fine-tooth comb, looking for any links between the Man of Mushrooms Madcap and the elusive scheming Geno. And I found a single YouTube short with Madcap just sitting there for 40 seconds. I can use this to definitely prove that Madcap is actually Geno. We see Madcap sitting underneath a reality tree, the same tree we see this mysterious character who I originally thought to be Geno staring at in the Season 3 cinematic trailer. So perhaps Madcap is simply a conduit for Geno's evil onto the Fortnite map, like this character we see looking at the island. As we can see by their outlines, they both look fairly different, but have some similarities. Geno clearly wants or has control of the Fortnite island, but he needs a way to observe all that goes on from a looper's perspective. So he planted Madcap, see what I did there, first in the game files over a year ago to try and prepare everyone for his unusual host's fall, before finally unleashing him on the island at a time where no one would pay him much notice, as they were far more concerned by the looming threat of the Cube Queen, an event he himself had orchestrated behind the scenes to make his arrival completely inconspicuous. Once Geno's puppet had arrived, he remained in a hut with a returning visitor in the form of Bud the Mushroom, and Geno then waited in Madcap for the rest of the season, until finally the island flipped over, drowning everything on the opposite side, including Madcap and his hut. And in this moment, Madcap was severed from Geno. Finally, he thought for himself, and he knew he had to get away, so he made his way upwards. It took him several weeks to make his way up to the surface of the island, burrowing his way up, listening out for the sounds of gunfire above. But when he did, he was immediately sucked into the loop and sold in the item shop for 1,500 V-Bucks. Use someone's support credit code in the item shop, where a snapshot of him was left behind, and with that, Madcap was trapped, and Geno had absolutely no way of controlling his puppet. However, Geno was not going to waste several years of planning, so he persisted, ordering IO to construct a device to fracture the 0 point and open a portal to him. And whilst the Foundation and Agent Jones managed to get into the wormhole where he resided, he managed to reach out to Madcap and ordered him to enter a meditative stance in the southwest section of the map. Madcap tried to resist Geno's powers, but he didn't stand a chance with his weak fungal brain. So Madcap was forced to do as Geno asked. He took up a meditative stance, and from there, the fractured 0 point sent out a long tendril of energy. It met with Madcap, and in that moment, the two became one. And a great tree grew from the ground, bursting with 0 point energy, the permanent radio signal for Geno to commune with Madcap through his new accomplice, the Observer. Geno has now left the island in a false sense of security, leaving them to party in victory, whilst he, the Observer, and Madcap all plot behind the scenes to do whatever unspeakable plans they have for everyone on the island. Maybe they want full control back of the island, as they, along with IO, had controlled the island for thousands of years, and now they have lost it and want it back. People like the Seven are viewed as terrorists in their eyes, nothing but saboteurs who have ruined things time and time and time and time again, and they want them to pay for their actions. Maybe they want to destroy the island completely, leaving nothing left as a final act of spite against everyone on the island. We don't yet know what Geno has in store for us. All we have left is to wait and see what happens, and see if this theory is correct. But whatever it is, we will be ready for anything Geno can throw at us. However, you may not be fully convinced by the Geno being Madcap theory, so I've got some other possible contenders for who Geno could possibly be. The first is the obvious. It's this picture from Corny Complex. This is who most of the Fortnite community assumed Geno to be in the first place, and it could be. Even I'm convinced of this theory, but I'm not here to agree with everyone else. I'm here to make nonsensical crackpot theory that makes Sans' nest seem plausible. Speaking of which, the next candidate for Geno is Trench Trawler. Hear me out. If we go by silhouettes alone, they look very similar. Both have glowing eyes, both have an unusual physique, and that's where this theory falls flat, I'm afraid. The weird ocean get-up and the barnacly warts don't fit with what I imagine Geno to be, so that's it, I'm afraid, with that one. But finally, the wildest wild card for who Geno is, but the most likely to me, is the Origin. A member of the Seven who came out of nowhere and who appears to be the former Cube King, already a red flag. As we've already covered, Geno is in cahoots with Cube royalty, using them in his diabolical plans. Well, except for the island flipping over. That resulted in the unfortunate and untimely death of the Cube Queen. The Origin seems to have a die-hard vendetta against the Paradigm, despite the fact that she has saved the island twice. Except perhaps if she has been foiling his plans over and over, and for that, he framed her for working with the IO, getting her thrown out of the Seven, leaving the Origin to spy on the rest of the Seven and plot to take them down with everyone else. And after all, the bad guy is always British. Thank you for watching this video. It's been very fun to make. Once again, I would like to remind you to subscribe and maybe like the video as well. I'm going to be making many more of these documentary videos because I like making them, and judging by the view count, you guys like to watch them. So thank you. Also, I stream on Twitch if you want to see me play games and not just talk about them. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.